Hello, 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 and welcome to my little hair salon. How are you doing today? Well, I hope that you're doing great, and I hope you'll feel even better after your appointment. So, what is your name? Oh, that's a lovely, lovely, lovely name. I'm just going to check my planner and look for your appointment and what you ordered. Okay, let's see. So I have my little planner here. Let's see. Where are you? Here you are. Let's see. There. Okay. So this is you. Oh, this is interesting. You are looking to get a bit of a early 2000s look, right? It says here that you're interested in getting chunky highlights or streaks. Is that correct? So with the highlights we could use some bleach, and with the streaks we could use some darker hair color than the one you already have. I can show you some examples and we can make kind of a plan, okay? Does that sound good? Great. Okay, so I'm thinking that first of all I would like to measure your hair, just in case you want to maybe cut it or trim it for later. Do you think you're interested in that at all? You are? Okay, well that's great. Then we can kind of make a bit of a double plan and might do some trimming or cutting at the end, okay? Great. So I will just get my measuring tape. Let's see here. Is it okay for you if I get a little bit close and might touch your face and your hair a little bit? You're okay with that? It's very important to me that you are comfortable. So if I'm getting too close, then you just let me know, okay? Yeah, great. Let's see here. Okay. I'm just gonna go to the other side. Okay, great. Then I kind of have some idea of how we might trim it later, but we'll see how that goes. Okay. So now for the highlights or streaks. So when we think about the early 2000s, first thing that comes to mind is kind of like a middle part on the hair, and also the chunky highlights or the chunky streaks. So I'm just going to show you an example of what we could do. First of all, are you mostly interested in bleaching your hair or kind of having darker streaks? Because we could either bleach so that you would get lighter streaks in your hair, or we could use a darker hair color so that you would get darker streaks. I'll show you some examples of the coloring, okay? So if we are doing a lighter color, then we will just be using this bleach. So a really big trend lately has been to put bleached highlights in the front. I did that myself last summer, and it really just gives you that little extra. So you wouldn't even have to put in more highlights or streaks, you could just have the two in the front if that's what you're interested in. No, okay, so you want the streaks or the highlights kind of more than just in the front. Yeah, okay, that's great. So this is the bleach that we will use if you want light streaks. It does take a little bit longer than having darker streaks, and it will require some more treatment and aftercare because bleach is very strong. It actually kind of depends on your hair, because if your hair is very soft, very like what we would call virgin hair, then the bleach might damage it a little bit more. Can I actually just touch your hair a little bit? Thank you. Just gonna see. Okay, so your hair is very soft. It also seems very strong. So we could do the bleach if that's what you want. Okay. Or we could do the darker streaks that I mentioned. So then we would just use this almost black color to create that edgy 2000s look. So this darker hair color, it requires a little less aftercare. And if you use this dye, you can have like dark streaks that are kind of more underneath the front of your hair, which will look very cool. So you do have the option to choose which one you want. Yeah, I understand. Actually, it's very like the blonde look. It's kind of like, it's very popular, and it's kind of also very modern right now. Are you more interested in maybe having something a little bit different? We could kind of twist it up a little bit. Yeah. So if you want to twist it up, we could do the darker streaks. You just kind of put the darker streaks kind of in between your hair. That's really cool actually. And like I said, it gives you that little edge. And it's a little bit easier to deal with than bleach. Okay, so we are trying the darker chunky streaks. Very, very cool. But I will be using this color on you a little bit later. So I actually do have some examples of what we could do with the darker streaks. I'll just show you some looks from some early 2000 iconic singers. So I do have this board hair. Let's see. So here we have Avril Lavigne. She's really pretty. So Avril Lavigne did the chunky streaks in 2004, I believe. And she had kind of a medium blonde that she paired with almost, well, it's completely black. So she had them kind of behind her natural color. Or I do believe that medium blonde was her natural color. So you can kind of see what we could make it look like. And this is also a really good picture. She also has the middle part, and her hair is kind of cut up a little bit. With the darker streaks, that makes it a very edgy look. So yeah, we could do something like that. What do you think? You like it? Okay, yeah, well, that's really good. Okay, I'm glad you like it. Now I just need to ask you if you are interested in maybe adding some color as well. Because we could add some color. That would make it even more 2000s really, because colors were all the rage in the early 2000s. This is Christina Aguilera, probably in 2002 or 2003, something like that. And she has a very bleached blonde color with the dark streaks, which gives quite a beautiful contrast. And then she also has the red, very bright red color. So if you're interested, we could do something like that as well, add some color. No? Okay, so you're more interested in the more natural look without the color, like Avril? Yes, okay. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to just create it a little bit like this photo, where you can very clearly see that the darker streaks are kind of in between. Okay. Great. Then I will just get started on doing some color mixing, okay? So before I begin, I just want to give you something that you can cover up your clothes with, so that we don't get any hair dye or products on your clothes, okay? So I'm just gonna wrap you in a bit of a cover up. Yeah. There we go. Then we are sure you're not getting anything on you. Okay. So this is the mixture, and I'm just going to add that to a container and put the color in. Okay. So here we go. And then this is the coloring. Now I'm just going to mix the color with this brush. Okay, we are using this brush to just kind of apply the color to some of the parts of your hair that you want to dye. So if I can just come a little bit closer and look at your hair again, would that be okay? Okay, so I'm just thinking maybe if we could just get let's see here. See. Yeah, okay. So we could kind of just take I'll show you on myself. So we can kind of just take darker streaks up to here maybe, so then they won't start from the top, but they will start from around here. We could also have them a little bit higher up if that's what you would like. So what would be a good starting point? Up to here, higher. To here maybe, higher again, here, and then it can just kind of go all the way down. We can also kind of make some higher up than others. Yes, okay, then we'll do that. Okay, so I'll just start. Here we go. Okay. A little bit on the other side. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to check that. Let's see, I'm just going to turn my brush around. Okay, so now we do have a few streaks on each side. They vary a little bit in length. So you have kind of some that start here and some that start a little bit more up. But they are very much, they blend into your hair quite well. And I did do a little bit of a gradient. I can actually do just some more blending just so we get it right. So just blend, 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 blend. Blend, 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 blend. Okay. So I do think we're satisfied with the hair dyeing. So I'm just going to get some foil for you so we can let the color set into your hair. Okay? So, here we got some foil for you. Going to put one on here. Just gonna break it a little bit around your hair. Okay, then I'm just going to get one for the other side of your hair too. So now I'm just going to wait a little bit and let the coloring absorb into your hair. It can take a little while, but not too long. So we'll just wait a little bit, okay? So while we're waiting, I need to ask you, since we're doing this today, who was your favorite singer or musical artist in the early 2000s? Oh, really? Well, that's so interesting. Okay, because mine was actually Avril Lavigne. So it's very exciting that we're doing a look inspired by her today. and I do really think that you're going to look great once we're done. We're gonna see how the color has blended into your natural hair. You don't have to worry. I'm going to make it completely uncomplicated. Get it? Uncomplicated. Uncomplicated. Okay? So I will remove the foil now. There we go. That's one side. And then we're just doing the other side as well. Okay, so I do see that the hair color has blended quite well. I do want to check it out a little bit closer. To do that, I would have to wear my gloves. So I'm just going to get those. There we go. I'm just going to very calmly check your hair and your new color to see how it has blended, okay? Okay, so it actually looks really, really good. The color has blended in, kind of matches with your other color as well. Yeah, so it actually looks really great. I'm so glad. Okay. Okay, so then we are actually quite satisfied. Or I am at least satisfied. Are you satisfied? You are? Yes, okay, that's great. You know, it's just dyed, so the color is like very strong. We do have to rinse it out a little bit, and then it's like it's first then we can actually see how it blended. But as I'm seeing it right now, it doesn't look that bad. So we're gonna try to rinse it off and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, so I'm just going to use just some regular lukewarm water to rinse it off. And then once we're done with that, we can add conditioner, and we can add maybe a hair mask or some hair oil. Yeah, so I'm just going to get the shower handle so we can rinse out your hair. Yes. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn it on. And there we go. So I'm just going to add some shampoo and conditioner. I do have this shampoo. It is the Blue Lagoon shampoo from Iceland. So we're just gonna use a little bit of that. And then we also have a conditioner, which will really add that extra moisture after we have been dyeing your hair. So this is from the same series. Okay, so now we have rinsed out all the hair dye and added some shampoo and some conditioner. And now, as I can see, the hair has blended out really nicely, but we really can't tell because we haven't blow dried it yet. So next thing I'm going to do is blow dry. All right. Just gonna put these away. So this is a Baby Bliss hairdryer that I will just be using to get your hair dry. Okay. Okay. Now we are done. Your hair is finished being blow dried, and it actually looks really good. The color blended perfectly into your hair, and it looks really good. It has like a beautiful contrast with your natural hair color, and it just kind of spices the hairstyle up a bit. Very 2000s, very cool. So if you want to, I can make a middle part for you, and then I'm going to brush your hair. Like we talked about how middle parts were very trendy in the early 2000s. Yeah. So let me just check your hair here. Let's see. We'll just middle part it. And then we are just going to brush it. With this big wooden brush that won't damage your hair at all. We're just gonna brush and brush and brush your hair, and brush and brush and brush your hair. Brush, 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 brush. Brush, 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 brush. Okay, so there we go. Wow. It just adds this completely different edge, especially with the middle part as well. The middle part kind of gives it even more of an edgy look, I would say. What we could do now, if you are still interested, is to kind of trim and cut it a little bit. Yeah. So in the beginning of this session, we actually used this photo as reference, or these, both of them actually. And as you can see, her hair is very trimmed, and it also has some cuts. But it does overall have kind of the same length, but it's just like some small cuts to make it a little bit more lively. Do you still want to do that? Because you will look very much like Avril Lavigne in this photo if you do. Yeah? Okay, well then we'll do that. So I'm just going to test out which scissor that is the best one to use for a little bit of a trim. And I will also do some more cuts kind of in the front. So you'll just cut, 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 cut. Some parts in the front, and then we'll just trim a little bit once we're going down, okay? I'm just gonna put this away. Now let's see, the first scissor I was thinking about using might be a little bit too big. It looks like this. It cuts like this. But it might actually be too big to cut your hair. I'm I'm just gonna see how strong it is. I'm not cutting your hair right now, by the way. I'm just testing the scissor. I do think that this one will be a little bit too big, and since we are working with kind of smaller details, we want something a bit more precise. So I do have this box. And in this box there are actually some more scissors. So we can test out which scissor that is going to be the best for this hair mission. Now for trimming some of the smaller edges, I was thinking about using a smaller scissor. So we have this one. And we also have this one. So I'm thinking that we might use this one, the second one that I tried, just because it seems a little sturdier. So I'm just going to put the other one away. And this is the one we're using for trimming. And then I'm just going to try out some of the bigger scissors. The one we used first is a little bit too big and a little bit too crafty. So I do have this one that we could try instead. Let's see. It's a little bit rusty, but it works really well. Okay, so we could use this one, or I have a bigger one as well. It looks like this. It's a little bit bigger and a little bit thicker than the other. Also a little bit rusty. But works pretty well. Okay, I do think that this one might be a little bit too big, so I'll choose the first one, and I think that will be very good. So let me just start off by cutting the parts of your hair to make it kind of, it's not really layered. There are just some parts that are going to be a little bit cut up and shorter than the other parts. It would really look good with your new middle part. Because that will make the look a little bit different. Also, when you are cutting your hair with kind of like trimming it and cutting some parts of it, it will feel a lot lighter. And it will be easier to work with. So I'm just cutting some parts off here. Okay, let me just see now. I'll just cut some more parts. Just 2 seconds. There we go. Okay, I think that's very good. It looks a lot lighter already. And then we're just going to trim some smaller parts, especially around your face, kind of where your cheekbones, or not your cheekbones, but like your jawbones begin here. So I'm just going to like trim some of the smaller parts. Let's see. Okay, and then the other side. Just making it very light and easy. there. Okay, I think that actually looks really good. And these scissors really did their job well. The trim works really great with the rest of your new haircut. So that was a good decision. Okay, so now your new hair looks absolutely stunning. I actually love the middle part. It gives it like that whole iconic look. And now also the front parts of your hair, they look much more lighter, and the whole hairdo is kind of just lighter and more lively. You are going to have a much easier time with, for example, straightening your hair or even curling it. You could have all straight like the photo of Avril Lavigne, or you could have maybe like some curls. You could have like small curls in the front, or yeah, something like that. Okay, you look iconic. You look like you were straight from the early 2000s. And you also look kind of like a blend of, you know, natural but also a little bit edgy, which is very cool. So I'm just going to brush your hair a little bit more, just so we could get any loose hairs away after we cut it. That does happen sometime. So just brush, 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 and then brush, brush, brush. So, how do you feel about your new haircut? I'm so glad that you liked it, and I hope that you're feeling like your best self when you leave my salon. So the chunky hair streaks, they actually look very good on you. They give you that beautiful contrast, and I must say that it looks really, really good. Now, you have the option to add some hair oil if you want to. Yeah, I do also have a hair mask if you're interested in that instead. Okay, so this is the hair mask, which is filled with coconut oil. If you want to, you can take this one with you when you leave and wear it for later. Yeah, you want to take it with you later. Yeah, you can totally do that. Okay. And then, if you want to, we could either use this, which is like a conditioning balm. Or you could use this neem serum. It's really up to you. What I would recommend, well, I would recommend putting in some sort of treatment because you've dyed your hair. But you can take the hair mask and put that on at home. And then we could, for example, use some of this serum right now. This is a really nice serum. It makes your hair like actual silk. You want to put this in your hair? Yeah? And we will do that. And you're gonna shine, shine, shine. I'm just gonna put some in my hands and then I'm just gonna put it in your hair, okay? Here you go. There we go. So now you are silky smooth in your hair, and the neem plant is also very healing, so it's gonna do wonders for your hair. Okay, just one last look. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. I just want to say that this was very nice and I really enjoyed having you here. I'm just going to give you this one that you can take with you. Here you go. So, is there anything else that I can do for you before you leave? Or are you satisfied? Well, I mean, I could maybe, if you want to, do a little bit of your brows, just very quickly. Yeah? I actually have a tweezer right here. So I could just pluck some of the small hairs that might be a little bit out of place. Yeah, it's no problem at all. Okay, so this one actually, this tweezer, it comes with a little bit of a light so there will be a little bit of light. You can look at it or not, that's up to you, okay? Let's see here. Okay. Let's just do the last one. Okay. Okay. Are you happy with that? Yeah? Okay, wonderful. I'm so glad. Yes, so I just took away some of the smaller hairs. Wasn't that much, just a little bit. Okay, well then I really hope that you enjoyed your stay in my little salon. You look absolutely amazing. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. And maybe we will see each other again. I do hope so. Yes, okay. You have a nice day and enjoy your new hair.